Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of training videos for 2025, and we're going to be featuring game action from Week 10. Now, I want to hit two things before we get into our video. Number one, penalty enforcement. We had a couple blips last week, so let's really work hard and talk about it in your pregame. Talk about your process, your communications, your checks and balances, both on the field and in replay. It's important we do a great job with penalty enforcement. The second thing I want to talk about is our game time averages for teams in FBS for 2025. We're averaging 3 hours and 23 minutes, and that's up about 1 minute from last year. And individual teams' game times vary greatly because of the diversity in the styles of play in our game. But it's our responsibility to work hard in all aspects to keep the game moving. So let's do our part there. With that, let's get on into our plays. Our first play this week, the home team just scored to take a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they decided to go for two to make it a 3-point game. Now, the quarterback takes the snap, drops back, throws, and then total darkness as the lighting operator has turned off the lights. Now, it appears the offense caught the ball in the dark, and the officials are going to get together to discuss the play, and then we get an announcement from our referee.
The rule of the field is that the light went out in the middle of the play. The try will be replayed.
Now, this is the second play this year we've had concerning lightings on our training video. And we know that the audio, video, and lighting system operators are subject to the rules, and persons subject to the rules cannot create any noise or distraction that prohibits a team from hearing their signals or obstructs play. And clearly turning the lights off here obstructed play. Now, we know the penalty states that the referee may take any action they consider equitable, including repeating the down, assessing a 15-yard penalty, awarding a score, or suspending or forfeiting the game. I support the action of repeating the down here, even though the home team's offense caught the ball, maybe the defenders couldn't react. If it would have been the other way, the visitor trying a 2-point conversion, the referee could have awarded 2 points for the home team operator turning off the lights. Now, we've had these issues before, as we've said, and this is something the Rules Committee will continue to discuss. Play two, we're after the 2-minute timeout in the second quarter. The quarterback's going to throw. The ball bounces off an offensive lineman's helmet. It's intercepted by number 2 of the defense, and during the return, he fumbles. We dig it out, and we're going to ultimately award the ball back to the original offense. Now, good job stopping the clock here to dig this out, and we know that since Team A is awarded a first down in this situation, the clock will restart on the ready for play, and it's a good job by the crew for their clock management here. But remember, if we have this type change of possession from Team A to Team B back to Team A before the 2-minute timeout, technically the clock would never stop and it would be a 1st and 10 for Team A. But if we had to dig it out to determine the recovery, we should stop the clock, but we restart it after we get it all sorted out that Team A has the ball 1st and 10. This is an interesting component of our first down timing rule. Play 3, we get a kickoff. It's a good kick. The receiver catches the ball deep in his end zone, but he elects to bring it out. He makes a cut, then there's a big hit, the ball is loose, and the kicking team recovers. Now, there's a flag on the play for holding by the receiving team, but the kickers will decline the penalty and keep the ball. Now, replay is going to stop the game. They come in to review for potential targeting, and as we see, number 1 of the kicking team, he lowers his head, he attacks the return man with the crown of the helmet, and replay can confirm all aspects of this hit, and they're going to create a targeting foul from the booth, and number 1 is disqualified. Now, since there was a live ball holding foul by the receivers, and we now have a live ball targeting by the kicking team, we have offsetting fouls. And anytime we have live ball fouls by both teams, the foul's offset and the down is repeated. Now, we all know there's an exception when there's a change of team possession during the down, and the team last gaining possession had not fouled before gaining possession. It can refuse offsetting fouls and retain possession after the completion of their penalty. But here, as we could see, the ball was not recovered until after the targeting foul. So This is a situation where neither team can refuse offsetting fouls, so we're going to repeat the down, no option on this situation. Play 4, the quarterback hands to the back who turns the corner around right in. He gets upfield, and then there's a big hit by number 14 of the defense, and the side judge is going to throw a flag for targeting on number 14. Now, replay will review this, and as we go back and take a look, we see the runner, number 23, he's not defenseless, so we know that crown of the helmet is the only type targeting possible here. And as we look at both players, they both lower their head, but the defender, he lowers his head, leads with the head and attacks, but he gets his head out front. There's no contact with the defender's crown of the helmet. So replay is going to take off the targeting, and number 14 stays in the game. Now, we've gotten a lot of questions. What about the ball carrier? He lowered his head. Why not targeting on him? But remember, you must have an indicator of targeting, and that includes an attack of the opponent. And here, the ball carrier, he lowers his head really to brace for contact, to gain extra yards, and is not attacking the defender. So there's no targeting for either player in this situation. Play 5, there are 3 seconds left in the second quarter. The offense is at the plus 46, and they're going to throw to the end zone. Now, the quarterback, he gets time. He's going to throw the ball deep, but it's out the back of the end zone. But we have 2 flags down, one from our side judge and one from our back judge. It'd have been great to have 3 flags, but as we go back and take a look, we can count the defense, and as we see, there are 12 defenders that participated in the play. So clearly we have a substitution foul on the defense here. Good job getting this, but good job by the crew talking it through and also resetting the clock back to the time displayed at the snap, because we're after the 2-minute timeout. The defense participated with 12. Now, the clock reset is back to 3 seconds, and that's not a big deal here because it'll most likely expire on the next play. But it's excellent crew work to get all components of this enforcement correct. And if there were more than 3 seconds, it would make a huge difference. Good job here. Play 6, we see the offense is at the line calling signals, and the umpire's going to stop the play, and he comes straight into the referee, and we're going to get an announcement from our referee.
Delay of game on the defense, number 1, clapping. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now, we know as a part of our point of emphasis to the line of scrimmage infractions, the Rules Committee reserved the clap as a starting signal for the offense, and if the defense claps, it's a disconcerting signal and a 5-yard penalty. And we see clearly number 1 is clapping here just before the snap. And this is a foul, and good job by the umpire to recognize it and stop the play. Now, we also know that part of this rule, the terms move and stem, are reserved for the defense and can't be used as a starting signal by the offense. But this was called correctly for disconcerting signals. Good job by the umpire to shut this down. Play 7, we're going to get a surprise onside kick. The kicker just pops the ball up in the air. The ball goes right to 10 yards, and a receiver and a kicker go up to catch the ball. They collide together, and the kicking team player comes down with the ball. Now, good job by our side judge here as he has a flag down for kick-catch interference. And as we go back and take a look, we can see that the kicker does just pop the ball straight up in the air, and the receiver was in position to make the catch here, so he must be given an unimpeded opportunity to catch the kick. And number 16 didn't give the receiver that opportunity. So it's a correct call for kick-catch interference, and the receivers will get the ball 15 yards beyond the spot of the kick-catch interference foul. Now, the receiver did give a fair catch signal here, but we know that he would be given the opportunity to complete this catch whether he signals or not. And this ball was kicked straight up in the air, but we also know that this protection applies if the kick is immediately driven into the ground, strikes the ground only once, and goes up in the air in the manner of this kick. Then the receiver gets protection. Now, we know that if the kick is a roller, it strikes the ground more than once and then bounces high in the air. There's no protection, and it's a free ball after it's gone 10 yards. But good job here in recognizing the kick-catch interference. Our last play this week, it's a good alert by the crew. We see that the quarterback, he's going to escape pressure. He gets outside the tackle box, and then he throws the ball away, and then he's shoved very late by a defender, and we get an immediate flag down from our referee. Now, as we go back and take a look at the action, we see the ball, it's clearly away, and then there's this late shove by number 3 of the defense, sending the quarterback hard into the opposing team's bench area. This is a good job, not only to get the marker down, but to stay with the passer to make sure that we're a presence at the boundary and that there's no further issues in the team area. This is well done by the crew. Well, that's it for our plays this week. Let's take these and learn from them. And let's make sure that as we head into week 11, we're continuing to work our pregame conferences, our preparation, so we're ready to go when we walk through that tunnel. Now, make sure today, quality fouls, nothing technical, make it be there, and be good dead ball officials. As we get deep into conference play, that's so important. Excellent communications with coaches, players, and other officials. Use your winning words, and let's display our integrity, courage, and poise. That's so important. And above all things, keep hustling.